Barbados's new COVID-19 travel protocols take effect May 8. All fully vaccinated travelers will be required to quarantine for approximately 1 to 2 days. All unvaccinated travelers will be required to quarantine for approximately 5 to 7 days due to the fluidity of the COVID-19 pandemic. These protocols are likely to change. The government of Barbados has updated its travel protocols required for entry to the country as it continues to manage the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic and protect its citizens and visitors alike. As a result, due to the global ongoing vaccination process, there have been a few changes to the quarantine and COVID-19 testing processes. Fully vaccinated travelers. The Ministry of Health and Wellness has approved the COVID-19 AstraZeneca, Moderna, Pfizer-BioNTech or Johnson and Johnson vaccinations for entry into Barbados, and effective May 8, 2021, travelers who are considered to be fully vaccinated are required to provide proof of a negative COVID-19 PCR test result 3 days prior to travel, provide a vaccination certificate on arrival to Barbados, have a standard or rapid COVID-19 PCR test done at the airport, or their approved ACCOMMODATION use specially designated transportation providers for their transport to their approved accommodation, and while awaiting their COVID-19 PCR test, RESULT stay at their approved accommodation, where they are free to move around, in accordance with the guidelines of that property. All fully vaccinated travelers will be required to quarantine for approximately 1 to 2 days. Unvaccinated travelers. Any traveler who has not been fully vaccinated, not vaccinated at all, does not have any evidence of vaccination, or has traveled from or transited through a country with the prevalence of certain variants of COVID-19 are deemed of particular concern to Barbados, are required to provide a negative COVID-19 PCR test on arrival 3 days prior to travel, use specifically designated transportation providers for their transport from the airport to approved ACCOMMODATION and stay within their room suites before receiving a second negative COVID-19 PCR test. Travelers are not allowed to leave their rooms suits take their second test 5 days after their arrival to Barbados. All unvaccinated travelers will be required to quarantine for approximately 5 to 7 days. Special considerations. Children under 18 who are traveling with fully vaccinated guardians will be allowed to adhere to the fully vaccinated traveler guidelines. If you are traveling within a group as a vaccinated traveler with other unvaccinated travelers, you will be subject to unvaccinated traveler guidelines if you choose not to be separated. All unaccompanied minors under the age of 18 must provide proof of a negative COVID-19 PCR test result, taken no more than 3 days prior to arrival. Vaccinated unaccompanied minors will follow the guidelines for all vaccinated travelers, whereas unvaccinated unaccompanied minors will follow the protocol of unvaccinated travelers. Due to the